an Israeli spacecraft made it tantalizing close to landing on the moon, only to crash just as it was about to touch down. CNN's Oren Liebman reports on what was a daring attempt.
Moments before the Israeli spacecraft called Bereshit was supposed to land on the moon, the team in the control room in Israel lost communications with the craft. At the same time, it was experiencing issues with its main engine. The $100 million privately funded spacecraft was well into its landing sequence, traveling at more than 2,100 miles an hour, about 75 miles from its intended landing site, according to the telemetry data being fed in live when the problems began and escalated quickly. There was a moment of silence in the control room. Then one of those monitoring the landing sequence said, "There's a suspicion that we didn't land on the moon in the best fashion. We're trying to clarify the matter." Just a short time later, one of the team leaders said, "I'm sorry to say we didn't make it to the moon in one piece." The Bereshit spacecraft had crashed. Trying to put a positive spin on the accomplishment, the team leader said, "We made it all the way to the moon. We are the 7th country to make it all the way to the moon." Had this been successful, it would have made Israel the 4th country to ever soft land a spacecraft on the moon, essentially a controlled landing on the lunar surface. The 3 other countries, the U.S., the former Soviet Union, and China, all world powers. Israel would have been by far the smallest country and the smallest program. Some even joked that instead of calling the spacecraft Bereshit, which means in Hebrew the beginning of the Bible, in the beginning, this should have been called chutzpah, for Israel believing it had the gall to pull this one off. In the end, to keep the weight of the craft down, there were very few redundancies built in, and the landing was always going to be the most difficult part, and it was in that landing sequence that Bereshit crashed on the lunar surface.